is going on, guys? Alright, so we're gonna have to try something new today because my laptop is being absolutely a pain in my ass. Remember, I am a YouTuber, not a financial advisor, so do not buy cryptocurrencies just because you watch someone from YouTube and they say you should buy this. Alright, the market looks like shit today if you're going to base that off of price. Now, I've been hearing all these crazy terminologies with when you look at the lines and you look at what the market is doing and how things are going to rebound. All these ascending triangles, descending triangles, dead cat bounce, and all kinds of jazzy little neat little sayings. So why don't we come up with some of our own? Like looking at the line of the Bitcoin, let's call that the broken worm. We can call Tether the worm on crack. Let's see, what else can we come up with here looking at these crazy little lines? Oh, look at this, Bitcoin gold. We'll call that the descending titties. No, lopsided titties. Let's call that the lopsided titties. You see it? One point's higher than the other, the lopsided titties. I don't know. It's just kind of crazy. There's so much chart analysis and trend analysis and speculation just going on right now about, well, what's going on with the price and how it's going to rebound and when it's going to rebound and all that shit. I just, personally, I feel like it's an obsession that people just need to stop caring about, because I personally do not feel the price of Bitcoin is going to change or go anywhere until, I'm going to rephrase that. I feel like it's going to be kept in check until we get the ETF approved. And I will show you why here in just 2 seconds. Let me pull this video up right here. Now, I want you guys to listen to this closely.
What criteria do you need to start a Bitcoin ETF? We now have a fairly well-developed futures Bitcoin market that's been out 6 months now. Are you pleased with how that is going? Is the development of that market sufficient to allow Bitcoin ETF, or are there other criteria?
So Bob, our division of investment management has put out, been very clear with the industry about the types of things that we're going to need in any asset class if we're going to approve a product. And one of those things is the pricing something that people can rely on? Also, asset verification. And our communication to the marketplace on this has been very clear. I'm very pleased with my colleagues at the SEC, because I think we're very open about what we need for you to satisfy our risk.
Well, you sent a long letter out a few months ago that was widely quoted in the industry that contained an awful lot of question marks, implying you have a very high hurdle to overcome, you who want a Bitcoin ETF to satisfy us at the SEC. Expound on that.
Those hurdles are the hurdles that we think a Main Street investor expects if they're going to invest in a product. I understand that there's a great deal of discussion about these crypto assets, but again, we're not going to relax our rules based on the level of discussion. We need to know that the pricing is certain. We need to know that the assets are there. We need to know that it's going to function as our retail investors would expect those products to function.
I would note that
in both cases, when he talks about the Bitcoin ETF, in both cases, when he leads off, he always talks about the price. He needs to know that the pricing is real. They need to feel good about the price. They need to know that the price can be substantiated. What is the value? What is the price? Now, there's more content out there of Jay Clayton. That's the chairman of the SEC. That's the guy who makes the decisions, okay? There is more content out there where he always emphasizes that point. We need to feel good about the price. What is the price? We need to make sure the price is reliable. We need to make sure the price is substantiated. It's very clear that if Bitcoin was to hit $20,000 tomorrow, for some reason, all of this bullish news that we're fixing to go over was to actually cause an effect, and the market was to just run up to even 10. Actually, I think we can get it with 10,000. Let's just say it hit 12 to 15,000 or just 20,000. I firmly believe that the ETF will not get approved, because right now where the prices of Bitcoin are hovering at, I know I sound like a broken record because if you follow this channel, I've said this over and over, but I need to emphasize this because there's so many people out there that are just gloom and doom, and it's making me crazy. The price of Bitcoin is staying at the production cost. Where we are at is the production cost based off of 10 cents per kilowatt hour, which is pretty much a global average of what you're paying for power. Most enterprise miners are actually paying more along the lines of about 5 cents or less. That's what I'm paying for my power. So I don't really feel that the price is going to go anywhere. And here's what's crazy. Everyone thinks that no one's buying cryptocurrencies, no one's buying Bitcoin. But if you actually get involved in the OTC market, yes, I am involved in that. If you get involved in the OTC market, I can tell you right now, there's transactions happening of between 10,000 and 67,000 Bitcoin purchases at a time. I'm telling you, this is the honest to God's fucking truth. There's a lot of OTC action happening that is off the market, off the exchanges where you can't see any of it. It's happening. These exchanges are happening every single day. You gotta lay off the price. You gotta look at the adoption and implementation. And if you really, really, really want to put your mind in a position to where you can see what's happening and understand what is happening in the crypto market, get away from all this cryptocurrency circles. Surround yourself more with the institutional world, the traditional world of investments and markets. Talk to those guys. They have a lot of knowledge and they can talk to you about a lot of the things that are happening and how institutions are preparing and why cryptocurrency is not going anywhere anytime soon. Now, speaking of all this good news, there's an article that recently came out. Bitcoin price stabilizes. Market recovery expected after flurry of positive news. Now, there is a flurry of positive news. I share the positive news every time I see it come through because I'm very bullish. I know cryptocurrencies is the future. Bitcoin is going to be worth a lot of money one day. But some of the positive news is from the EU, NASDAQ, Citigroup, and the Winklevoss twins. We already know the Winklevoss twins is who got their Gemini dollar approved, which that is huge. That's going to destroy Tether. Did a video on that one yesterday. The EU said that cryptocurrencies will coexist with the financial system. That's really, really bullish news. NASDAQ is preparing to release crypto analytic tools for investors. That is really good. That is huge. Now remember, Google kind of did something similar with Ethereum. So this is huge. Remember, and data is a really important part of markets and investment. And it costs money to create the tools and the resources to make this data available to you. Again, these guys won't spend that kind of money if Bitcoin was not expected to one day hit the moon. And Citigroup has shared its plans to support crypto custody. We've already seen other entities do the same thing and talk about the same shit. This is something that I expect to see all major banks do, is to work out some sort of a custody program or plan for cryptocurrencies. They're not going to be left behind. So, I mean, that's just straight up bullish news. Now, another article I recently read that came out today, Bitcoin holds $6,000. Futures volume sinks. And this is not new news to a certain extent. We've seen that last week and the week before. It seems as if the futures market is progressively slowing down. Not saying that if you go look at the pay attention like BitMEX or places like that, you every now and then you might see a huge pump for shorts like we saw recently before the Goldman Sachs news came out. But overall, the number of contracts are actually going down. If you look right here, meanwhile, the trading in Bitcoin futures volume has sunk. On Monday, just 1,965 contracts changed hands on the CME Group exchange, down 28.7% from Friday and down 72.2% from 1 month ago. Monday was also the lightest trading day over the last 4 weeks. That right there kind of, if you really think about that, read between the lines, I don't know, man. I think people are going to start going long in this bad boy. Now, an article that I actually seen another YouTuber bring up that I feel like everyone should read, why the price of Bitcoin doesn't matter. And I've said this in several of my other videos, why the price of Bitcoin does not matter. The price of Bitcoin, especially now, does not determine the health of our market. The adoption, implementation, and action. We're seeing all three almost every single day this month. And I said this at the end of last month, that this month is going to be like a pivot point. Not with price, but with that adoption and the implementation and action. And almost every day this month so far, we have had just great news about what's going on with the market, the moves being played, and people trying to get themselves positioned before the end of the year, because the end of this year, we could see a rally like we've never seen before, or we could see nothing at all happen with the price. But the adoption, implementation, infrastructure, the action, everything being built, and it's going to become a ticking time bomb. But this is why the price of Bitcoin does not matter. Think about email. Do you guys remember when email first came out? And I'm old enough to remember that. I'm 35 years old. I was like one of the first adopters. I remember I had a Hotmail account. I actually still have my original Hotmail account, my very first email account that I opened up when I was, I think, 12 years old. 12 years old. And I still have that email address. That's kind of crazy. But email at that time, people didn't take it serious. Oh, it'll never happen. And if you think about the email, you can transact information to another person 24/7 without having to wait on the postal carrier to be open. Same thing with how we do Bitcoin right now. You can transact 24/7. And we have just now scratched that little surface, the tip of the iceberg, literally. We don't even fully understand what Bitcoin is going to become in the next 1 to 5 years. It's changing exponentially, and don't forget about the Lightning Network coming out. This is a really good article, and again, there was another YouTuber that brought this up, and I thought it was a great read. I'm going to share this. I'm going to put a link for this down below, guys. But man, remember, do some research on what the SEC is doing right now with the whole ETF and what their concern is. And it'll make this right here make a lot more sense, okay? And I know that today there was just more bad news, which I don't really want to share it because it's out of China. I think it was the leader, or founder, or CEO of the OK Exchange got arrested for, I think, fraud. I briefly looked over it, but that could be the reason why all of a sudden we're seeing it go down below 6,300. Like I said, does not matter. Look at what the big boys are doing. And remember, there's an OTC market out there where there are big, big buys and sells happening every single day. I know this for a fact. Anyhow, I appreciate everyone who watches. Please comment, like, and subscribe to support the channel. Hit that notification bell so that you can get my videos as soon as they come out. Check out my Patreon account. I added something really cool in there. A big update from Fat Booty Chicks, PBC, okay? On why they feel, the 2 reasons why they feel the market is down. And yeah, I appreciate everyone who watches. Peace out.